Yeah, hi, Ben the astrologer. Well, the June 18th event is over, and I've got a few emails from people who got huge visions. Doesn't seem to be any obstructions tonight. I had clear visions, and I want to run them down with you. I'll be reading them to a degree on how it came down. You can go to Mystical Humanoids, and you can also go to events. Now it'll be in past events, telepathy, and read a lot of the information. But Mystical Humanoids, I always drag them and put a post up there so you can read them. drbenharris.com will probably have them as well by tomorrow. All right, let me tell you what happened here. The first effort we made in the group was for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. There's 1 billion people on the planet who have Jesus Christ written as God. Another 1 billion have Muhammad written as a God. And the Jews, I don't know, do they even have a God? They have Jehovah. He's an imaginary creature somewhere, constructed in books. And who wrote the books and who told them? And the Bible was constructed 300 years after Christ died. And the whole thing goes from absurd to nonsensical. Anyway, my observation for the second time, 30 years ago, in the Rewriting History Project with Joe Blaney, we did this very same thing, and we all drew the picture of Jesus, and I'm willing to do that too. Well, this Jesus was, again, very strong, Victor Mature, handsome, Victor Mature, ancient actor with a kind of a Roman nose, very handsome, powerful-looking man. Was sort of like that, a cross between him and Tony Curtis. Actually quite a beautiful man, like the Palladians are supposed to be. They have actually almost feminine beauty about them, although they reek of power. It would be like the combination of Mars and Capricorn and Venus and Pisces. Tom Selleck has that, and Ronald Reagan had that. Anyway, back to the crucifixion. This being was there in the crucifixion, and in the clouds I perceived UFOs, lots of UFOs from lots of places. This was a universal event. Yeah, on YouTube, on Ben A. Harris, where I have my videos, the ones of Hollywood, where I photographed UFOs in the clouds over Hollywood during a HARP project, Ice Cube Tray project. So you can get that image, very similar to what I picked up here. That's probably why I was given that by Spirit, to be aware of it, because I had to really look to find it. And I did find it. It wasn't that hard to do. Now, what else? Oh, yeah. He became like the one vision I had when I was doing really, really, really deep trance work, the face of God, which appeared like a constantly changing collage of faces. And every time I got to really remember this person and what a loving uncle or father he was, he would disappear and another one would appear, and I'd remember how beautiful he was. And then I kind of surmised that he would change forms according to what was going on inside me, metaphorically. You know, very Jungian, but it seems to be the way it worked out. And it seems to work out that way with Christ. I saw hundreds of faces zooming by, very similar to Dan DeLong, who ran the parapsychology lab at UCLA, very similar to his run through your lifetimes in 5 minutes concept, which he ran me through. So I found the event to be a universal event, that this being, oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, out of his face was pouring electricity, out of his eye sockets, out of his mouth, nose, ears, out of his hair. Everywhere was pouring a tremendous amount of electricity, almost like chi. It was just staggering to look at. And that's what I got from the crucifixion. It was a universal event, much like a flogging. And again, in this universe, which has got some real debates going on, that seems like it fits in. All right, next we go to Mars. I talked to Haran again, the little teeny small black guy that hangs out with Duvall, and a little square-headed, not a Negro, black skin like a black from India, that caste, but small square head. They have a little cubular head, and very nice. And no one was happy with the big reshuffling. When he told me about that reshuffling and I taped it, a week later, Rush Limbaugh came out and said that he had got a document from a general, and they talked about the reshuffling of the society on Mars. They had gotten down that Mars was full of corporations, and they ran the place into the ground, then came here and went into Shasta, and now they're running it to the ground here. I have some pictures of Mars men. A lot of them look like cats. These men on the planet now that are thin and nervous with those cat-like faces, Those are the reincarnated inbred Martians or crossbred Martians. Anyway, no one was happy with that, but everybody adjusted to it. And regarding travelers to Earth, yeah, they travel to Earth a lot and elsewhere more. Not to Venus. Apparently, Venus has got a bad rap. Venus likes it that way. Some of them get our TV, and they know about SETI because SETI is not looking for outer space. SETI is monitoring the radio signals there on Mars. That's what it's about. That's what the money's about, is monitoring the signals. All right, now their energy comes in huge cylindrical batteries, and they just kind of plug them into a device which circulates it around. They also have a free energy. They have several types of energy depending on who they are. They travel around in round green UFOs that they're very shiny with a lot of windows. And the master food up there, and they do have it, is banana, and it's just like prime rib here. Saw some of the elders. They were looking in. They were very, very keen. And they really look like Tibetans. They have those Tibetan type of hats. But they seem to be very focused on the material plane. So I guess their environment causes them to focus there, and then that's where they're at. And they're looking at things in material value, like who is he, what's he worth, you know, me. And they're very conscious of me. They're good that way. Venus, again, powerful women in Venus. They're iconic. I met a woman who was similar to the tarot card, the High Priestess. Well, she was beautiful and glittery, and I wanted to grab her and eat her. She was so pretty. And she really questioned me on my motives. What am I doing? And I gave her my bigger picture about the universe, and she was very pleased and very happy and wants to be my friend. But she's very wary of outsiders and thinks Earthlings are very unevolved and just not really capable of higher concepts. But they're getting that way. They're getting that way. And Werner Erhard from S said that if we could all be trim tabs, little teeny rudders that turn big forces, everything will get better fast. And I think that's what's going to happen. Don't buy the linear thinking of Armageddon and the end of things. If you read the Mayan scholars, and I have them on drbenharris.com, it's a changing of the real like an eclipse, except a bigger changing of the real, because as we going across the ecliptic like this, our solar system is spinning like that, but spinning all of a sudden on the downside of one going like this. So that energy gives a tunnel toward the center where the black holes are, and who knows what's going to happen, but I remote viewed it and saw huge sunspots. All right, let's get back now to, that was with Venus. That connection is strong. I think she'll come in my dreams. Jupiter, I got the little dwarf priest again, and he wants to know about Venus. And he can so easily read my mind. I'm so amazed at the talent, but apparently they use it a lot there because of so many languages. The Tower of Babel is more in effect there than here. Globalism's big there, and the central government is run by this massive, big white building, and they control everything they can reach out to. There's lots of air vehicles. They're all over the place, but I'm just impressed with the size of that huge government building, and I saw what appeared to be like a Senate, and full of a lot of weird characters. Some humans, but not a lot, and a lot of kind of shiny blacks, look like from Biafra, little teeny necks and big shiny heads, and some strange, weird humans, and fairness seemed to be the concept. Fairness was the big thing, and punishment, they weren't big on punishment, but they were big, very big on making material compensations whenever any kind of agreements is occurring. And there's not a whole lot going down in those places. It looked more like they were sitting around drinking tea. This is what I got as of June 18th, and right now it's 9:46 Hollywood time, PST in the PM, and that's what I got. But I'm sure tonight my dreams are going to be more of an open channel, and that's it.